only time humans will change is when there is pain. The mind will change when there is pain. And hunger has pain, humiliation has pain, and these two pains force us to change our method, to change our culture, to change the way what we are doing. And that's the only time we will change, or like, intense love. The right questions and the right belief in people can change their economic activity because you have access to ChatGPT, Google, YouTube, and all that data is there. Now today, the world's biggest school and college university is YouTube. People living in Silicon Valley are learning from it. People living in Pakistan are learning from it. Software engineer living in Pakistan can easily do the job of the person in Silicon Valley. And the only reason he is not doing it while he's living in Pakistan is because he doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't think it is possible. He doesn't have the network of people right above him. As I was looking again, if you look again at the pyramid, the distance between $1,000 person and $200,000 person in Pakistan is like 7 steps. Huge difference. Whereas in Silicon Valley, if the same software engineer moves to Silicon Valley, the base salary would be starting at $105,000, $110,000. In San Francisco, $105,000 a year is considered a poor person. Please break your own barrier. Make the best of your time. If you're doing something in one country and you can do it virtually in another country, you can earn much more money. We move towards upward mobility, and the pain is basically a baby coming out of the womb, or the chicken coming out of the egg. It causes pain. We don't feel it, but just watch a mother giving a birth. It's like the most painful thing you will ever see, but it still happens. And then out of that pain comes a beautiful baby. Hi everyone, my name is Rehan Allahwala, and I want to present today a theory which I have, and I don't have a name for it yet, but this is kind of what I do. And I was watching a lecture and this came to me, and I found words how to explain this. And it's regarding upward mobility of the economics of the people. So my theory says that, my work and my theory both say that if you connect people to the people who are different from them and the people who they want to become like, things start to change. So for example, in this video, I will try to explain how we can take a country which is, say, on $1,000 a year or $10,000 a year to $55,000 a year. So the country on the bottom with $1,000 can be Pakistan. The country which is in the medium, you can say Hungary, which is at $12,000 a year, and Singapore, which will be at $55,000 a year. So here are 3 charts in front of you. The first chart is for Pakistan. The second chart is and these are 3 pyramids you can see. One is for Pakistan, one is for Hungary, and third is for Singapore. So if you are a poor person in Pakistan, you are going to struggle for anywhere from $50 to $70 a month. And $50 to $70 a month in Pakistan, you can survive somehow. And that is how you get by. You're able to live in a house, you're able to pay your rent, you're able to have food. Now you can just imagine what quality of life they're living, but that is acceptable to people because somehow they can survive with that. And if you look at the chart, the pyramid for Pakistan, a lot of people make 5,000 rupees, which is around $15 a month. Then there's 10,000. Then you can say, we will take an educated person, which is like matriculate or intermediate, and he earns anywhere from 25,000 to 35,000, which is $70 to, we can say, $100 a month. And that is something which they get by. Now, if we move to Hungary, the same amount from $100 will change to anywhere from $500 a month. And if you move to Singapore, you need at least $1,000 to survive. So the bottom of this pyramid in all 3 pyramids is different, because in Pakistan, $1,000 a month was above middle class income. In Hungary, $1,000 would be uh, medium class income, whereas in Singapore, the exact $1,000 a month would be lower middle class. Actually, not even middle class, lower income, like the bottom of the pyramid. So now I am going to try to explain what happens if the human changes the country, and why are they able to make more money if they just change the country. So as everybody understands that we have to take actions in order to be able to achieve something, and we have to unlearn some things and we have to relearn something. So if a person who is a high school graduate or intermediate in Pakistan moves from Pakistan and he is earning $100 a month and moves to Singapore, what will happen is that in order to survive, he has to or she has to earn $1,000 a month. So no matter what happens, even if they have to beg, they will still look for $1,000 a month, because they will not be able to survive until unless they make $1,000 a month. Whereas in Pakistan, in order to survive, they only need to make $100 a month. So the skill sets they are taught, that they are told from 2 steps above their and if you look at the chart again, there are multiple levels. So everybody learns from the people who are above them. So they become their role model. They become the places where they get information from, right? So if I need to make $1,000, I can only ask that question to somebody who's making at least $2,000. But if I'm making $100, I can ask somebody who will make only $200. So the person above me is better than me. So he's going to give information which he had for $200. If we can somehow jump the person from who's making $100 a month to getting this question from answered by a person who's making already $2,000 a month, they can easily reach to $1,000 mark. I know it's very confusing, the numbers, but maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. I'll try to make a better version of the video in the future, but I'm trying to explain this theory which I have. That why are people not able to earn more? And this is based on my observation, my experience of my life for the last 25 years, which I have been working on this thing. So coming back to the theory, the reason people change is when there is pain. The only time humans will change is when there is pain. The mind will change when there is pain. And hunger has pain, humiliation has pain, and these 2 pains force us to change our method, to change our culture, to change the way what we are doing. And that's the only time we will change, or intense love. But in this case, I think most people change because of intense pain. So I heard this guru, Satguru, explain that, we cut our hair because there is no pain. Imagine if there was no pain in cutting our nose, we would have fashionable noses. We would, there would be a nose designer who would cut our nose from here and there, and it would just be amazing to have different kinds of weird noses. But because there's pain, we don't touch it. So change causes pain. That's why we don't change. And if somehow we are caused this pain, we move towards upward mobility. And the pain is basically a baby coming out of the womb, or the chicken coming out of the egg. It causes pain. We don't feel it, but just watch a mother giving a birth. It's like the most painful thing you will ever see, but it still happens. And then out of that pain comes a beautiful baby. And that is what we need to do in order to transform ourselves. So coming back, so a person who is earning $100 a month in Pakistan all of a sudden becomes comfortable. And he doesn't have to earn $200 a month because he's able to survive at $100 a month. And if you look at Dubai, Dubai has caused extra. You can't buy an exact same coffee, or tea, which you can buy in Sharjah, which is right next door, for 30 cents. If you come to Dubai, it automatically becomes $1. The rent are 3 times more. Everything becomes the cars, the taxis, all of a sudden becomes more expensive. And the reason is that somehow somebody understood in the Dubai government that we have to raise the cost of living. And the moment you raise the cost of living, the people raise their quality of life. And it doesn't make any sense whatsoever in when you read about it. But basically it does, because now the person who has the desire to live in Dubai is going to work harder, and there is no visa required between Sharjah and Dubai. But he is going to work harder on his mind to change his mindset, and he will learn a new skill. He or she will learn a new skill. She will Google more about how do you make that income. Now, a typical Pakistani in Pakistan does not look for a job for $100,000 or $50,000 a year. Why? Because he doesn't believe that it's even possible. A software engineer earns $1,000 a month in Pakistan, a very good software engineer, whereas a very good software engineer makes $300,000 a year in United States or in Bay Area. Well, let's say $200,000. So, but the software engineer living in Pakistan can easily do the job of the person in Silicon Valley. And the only reason he is not doing it while he's living in Pakistan is because he doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't think it is possible. He doesn't have the network of people right above them. As I was looking again, if you look again at the pyramid, the distance between $1,000 person and $200,000 person in Pakistan is like 7 steps. Huge difference. Whereas in Silicon Valley, if the same software engineer moves to Silicon Valley, the base salary would be starting at $105,000, $110,000. In San Francisco, $105,000 a year is considered a poor person. The city gives them, low-income housing and everything. So what's the difference here? What am I trying to show you? I'm trying to show you is that if you look at the pyramid, the knowledge which people are able to take or are willing to take is only from the right above them, the box right above them, or 2 boxes above. They're unable to imagine, believe, or do anything like, say Elon Musk is at the top of the pyramid and all the pyramids. They can't even imagine. They think that it's impossible for me to be that person because they have never met that kind of person in their life. They think they have some kind of extra superhuman powers. They think they have some kind of, maybe 36 hours a day or something like that makes them miraculous. I was one of those people also. I thought, these people are superhumans. And I started meeting them. And I was like, they're like even lazier than I am. But they did something which helped them get to that part of the pyramid. And we are not able to communicate because we're shy. We think there's somebody important. We think they're noble. We can't communicate with them. And that stops the knowledge to come from one part of the pyramid to down, 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 down. Why are there so many billionaires in the United States? Why are there so many billionaires just in Silicon Valley? Why aren't there any in other parts of the world? And that is what my theory is, that we're unable to communicate between these socioeconomic boxes. There was a Harvard professor who has another study on this, which he found, again, about the social mobility, the economic mobility of the people. So I think that in today's world, if we can induce questions, the right questions and the right belief in people can change their economic activity because you have access to ChatGPT, Google, YouTube, and all that data is there. Now today, the world's biggest school and college university is YouTube. People living in Silicon Valley are learning from it. People living in Pakistan are learning from it. But what we're learning is different. We're not learning how to become that person who earns $200,000 in the US while living in Pakistan. Why aren't we learning? Because we don't need $200,000 a year to survive in Pakistan. If you earn $200,000 a year in Pakistan, you're like already on the top. And most people are not very comfortable being on the top because it's so far away from them. If you look at the socioeconomic block, they're just too far away. They just don't have it. It's just too scary. It's like climbing the Everest, but people do climb the Everest, right? So that's my theory, that if somehow, I don't even know if you want to call it a theory or not, but this is something which was on my mind. I wanted to get it out there, that we need to connect these boxes. And the moment we start connecting these boxes, things will start to change. People will start to change their belief. And you can change the boxes through movies, through friendships on social media, through drama, through inducing the right question in people's mind. So if, for example, if the president of, if you look at Kennedy, he forced the whole nation to go to the moon. How did he do that? Constantly talking about it, constantly talking about it, constantly talking about it. And I am doing the similar work in Pakistan, that I'm inducing the question, come learn at least to earn $500 a month in Pakistan. That's $6,000. That's 10x already. Well, 5x already for Pakistani income. But that can be any number. And the answer is right there on Google and YouTube. And people are not asking that question. And this goes for Europe, this goes for Hungary, this goes for every country in the world, where we're living in our boxes and we're only going to try to move one box at a time because we think going to the Everest is really impossible to go. I hope it makes sense. I hope you will understand and try to make bigger boxes. But the leapfrog is, how do you leapfrog from one box to another, is asking the right question on the internet, asking the right question from the people around you, asking the right question, because if I was to move from Pakistan to Singapore, people will force on me certain information. And there will be socioeconomical reason also. So the information gap becomes very low, and people will force me to earn $1,000 a month. Whereas in Pakistan, nobody's forcing me to earn $1,000 a month, and I don't have the need to earn $1,000 a month. And that's the fundamental reason why people don't earn more money. So I hope it makes sense. I hope you like, comment, and share the video, and give me your feedback on it, on if it makes sense to you or not. And if it does, please comment, and please break your own barrier. Make the best of your time. If you're doing something in one country and you can do it virtually in another country, you can earn much more money. And having more money gives you more access to more things, not just like buying a yacht, but doing more impact on the world, not necessarily for your own bank balance. Peace.